So today we're going to be making what's called Baguette Africaine. It's a special recipe that was created by the German Baguette Meister Peter Kapp. And it was his masterwork, Baguette, but it'll be my first ever baguette, so it'll be an interesting experience here. But we're going to show you step by step, all the way through from the beginning to the end of making this baguette. So, to start, we've got some wheat flour. There's 350 grams of this, which I convert to 12.5 ounces. This is sourdough that we're going to mix in with this. And we have 180 grams of the sourdough, which is 6.5 ounces. And then we have a French recipe that also goes into this baguette. It's called Poolish, P-O-O-L-I-S-H. I'd never heard of it before this. But anyway, we have 100 grams of this, which is 3.5 ounces. And we're going to mix all this together to start. So, the first thing I put in is the sourdough. Into our mixer. Nice and gummy. All right. And then the Poolish goes in here. That in here nicely. Okay. There's that. Then, we're also, part of this recipe is a curry matrokas. And we're going to use 1 teaspoon of this. I'm going to first put it in with the wheat flour and just kind of mix it up a little bit before we actually put it in. We just need 1 teaspoon, which is 5 grams. So we're going to mix that up a little. Okay. Then we need to add, this is 8 ounces of water, 230 grams. Okay, and that's going to get that going. And also, we're going to add 1.5 teaspoons of yeast. There we go. Get this thing going. All right. This eventually will get going. Anyway, we're going to mix this for 15 minutes, and then we're going to take the next step, okay? Okay. So, this is now done. The next thing we're going to do is add these other ingredients. What we have is cashews, peanuts, dates, and goji berries. And the amounts are, where are we? We have 40 grams of dates, which is 1.5 ounces. We have 15 grams of cashews, which is 1/2 ounce. We have 60 grams of peanuts, that's 2 ounces. And also 15 grams of goji berries. Also, we've got about a teaspoon of Himalayan salt that we're going to add in. So we're going to mix this all in and get that mixed up nicely. So. Okay, and we're going to let that get all mixed up. Oh, the salt. Don't forget the salt. Okay. This becomes a very sticky wad of dough, but it's looking exactly the way it should. So, we'll get this all mixed up, and then we're going to let it rise. So, our next action is to prepare this board for the wad of dough that is over here. It's been sitting for half an hour now, and we need to prepare this, and we're going to make this into 3 loaves, 3 equal-sized loaves. I need to prepare this too. This is going to get... Okay. So, where's my... Alright, now we got a nice wad of dough. Okay. I want to cut it into 3 equal loaves. I want to shape these just a little bit. It's nice sticky dough. It should be kind of wet. Peter Kapp has said that when you're making bread, people often make it too dry. It should be a little bit more wet than you're used to. Let me just add this one here, just so they're more equal in size. Okay. So, now, we cover this and we let it rise again for 30 more minutes. Okay? So now we're going to prepare our 3 loaves into baguettes. So we just need to shape these. Get a little more flour. Now I have preheated the oven to 230 degrees centigrade, which is 450 Fahrenheit. And in the preparation of the oven, I also put in 8 ounces of water in a Pyrex dish so that it's very moist inside that hot oven, very humid. So it's already on and ready to go. So what we need to do now is we need to form these, and we want to make sure that we form these with air inside them. So you do this like this. You also take this side over and put air over like this. See that? And then again, and we're gentle with this. We don't want to squash it because I don't want to push the air out of it that's already built up in there. It's nice and bubbly with that poolish and the sour tag. So I pinch all this together. Now there's air kind of pinched inside this little loaf, this little baguette. Okay, and then we just gently start to form our baguette. And what we want to do is roll this out so that it's ideally about 16 inches long. Now my baking pan is not quite long enough to make a 16-inch baguette. This one's going to probably wind up to be about 14. But we make this like so. Make the little ends are kind of pointed as they're supposed to be. And we set this in the pan. There's one. A little more flour. These are looking really good. Okay. So we kind of fold this over, get our nice pockets of air. Like so. We pinch this closed. This Peter Kapp is a very interesting guy. He's a true baguette meister. He's not only a master baker, he's very much into making the perfect baguette. And when he created this recipe, it was his masterwork for his schooling to become a master baker. As I understand it, that's what this recipe is. There, now there's a nice baguette, huh? Okay, there's our second one. Okay. So, let me get this full of air. And I think what I'm going to do is make these baguettes at a little bit of an angle in this pan. I'll get a little more length on them because I really want to make sure that the ends of the baguette are pointy. This is a very important point, according to Peter Kapp, that they're pointed. So this is now gently rolled. Okay. And then we get little points in here. So let me see if we can't just arrange these a little bit longer. Nice little points. Now there's just a whole culture of how these artisan breads are made by a boulanger. Boulanger is French for baker. Okay, let's get this one in there. This is just like so. Nice and pointy. Okay. And then we have to put those little slices in there. It's got to be 4 nice, sharp, long slices in there. Like so. Now we're going to have the traditional, lovely baguette. This is the Baguette Africaine. These special spices. Come on. Cut. There. Very good. Okay. Now we're going to put this in the oven. So I get my little mittens on because we have a nice hot oven. Okay, so we're going to put these in for 18 minutes. There's the water in there. Okay, and we'll set our timer. And in fact, after 10 minutes, we want to open the oven door and let some of that moisture out because it's going to be very moist in there. And then we continue for a little bit more until they're done. So now our ringer is just rung. It's been 10 minutes. So let's let some of this air out and check out our baguettes. Okay, well, I can see I should have had a sharper knife. Peter Kapp says use a very sharp knife. And they're a little stunted, but you just need a regular bakery oven, I think. Big. But these will probably taste fantastic. Anyway, I've let out the humidity, and now I lower this down to about 420. It's supposed to be lowered for the last bit. So we'll let them finish baking, and then we'll have them out and taste them. Okay, so a little bit ago we opened the oven after 10 minutes, and then I reread the directions and discovered that actually after you open the oven, after the 10 minutes, you let it bake again for about another 18 to 20 minutes. It's not 18 to 20 total, it's another 18 minutes after opening the oven. So this is now about 18 minutes. You want to come take a look after we open the oven. And they're looking good, except that they need a little more color on top. So what we're going to do is we've just turned on the broiler, and that's going to put some heat on the top of it, and that should brown them up nicely. We're just going to do that for about 3 or 4 minutes, and then we're going to take them out, and they should be all ready to go. Okay? Okay, so I think we've done enough broiling. I think they're ready to go. Oh yeah, look at that. Is that not nice? Let's get them out. I think they're nicely browned on top. Those are looking like fantastic baguettes. Oh yeah, look at that. Really nice. Let's take a look at that, huh? Nice. And it's got that nice color in it from the spices that are inside there. It's turmeric that colors that, so bottom looks okay. These look good. So, a couple of things we learned. We could have sliced it better with a sharper knife. We could have made nicer points if we had had a longer pan. But all in all, I think this is going to be a nice baguette. So let's cut this open and take a look, huh? Crispy on the outside. Okay. Let's see how this looks. Ooh, look at it steaming, huh? Here, look. It's got big holes in it. All those nice, juicy stuff inside. Fresh out of the oven. It's good, huh? Yeah. Spicy. That's going to be great. I can't wait. Let's let it cool off a little while, then we're going to eat some. Okay.